Greetings and salutations, sleep-deprived viewers. Tonight we delve into the darkest corners of the human psyche, the unseen spaces where fear festers and nightmares take root. We've collected 10 terrifying tales, whispered from trembling lips and etched onto our very souls. These are not stories for the faint of heart. These are chronicles of the unexplained, the unsettling, the utterly bone-chilling. They will worm their way into your mind, taking up residence in the quiet corners of your thoughts long after the lights go out. So lock your doors, turn off the lights, and prepare to be thoroughly spooked. Because tonight we face our fears head-on with 10 terrifying horror stories that will keep you up all night. And remember, dear viewers, you can't outrun what lives inside your head. Our first story takes us into the supposedly safe haven of a young mother's home. Imagine the exhaustion, the overwhelming love, the constant vigilance that comes with caring for a newborn. Now picture this. You're settling in for a rare moment of peace, baby finally asleep. You glance at the baby monitor, expecting the soft, rhythmic breathing of your child. Instead, you hear a whisper. Faint, almost indistinguishable from the static, but undeniably there. You tell yourself it's just interference, a trick of the tired mind. But deep down, a seed of unease has been planted.
The whispers continue, night after night. They grow bolder, clearer, until one chilling evening the voice utters a name. Your baby's name. And then, with chilling clarity, a warning. Stay out of the nursery. This is no stray transmission, no faulty device. Something sinister has invaded the sanctuary of your child's room.
Moving into a new apartment can be an unsettling experience. The unfamiliar sounds, the echoes of previous tenants, the lingering feeling that you're not truly alone. Our next story explores this very unease, amplifying it to a terrifying degree. Imagine settling into your new place, the excitement of a fresh start slowly giving way to the mundane. You're unpacking boxes, arranging furniture, when you notice a pair of eyes peering at you from across the courtyard. An elderly woman, framed in the window of the building opposite yours, watches your every move. At first, you dismiss it as mere curiosity, a lonely neighbor seeking a glimpse of the newcomer. But the watching continues, day after day, night after night. The woman never seems to leave her post, her gaze unwavering, unsettling. A knot of unease begins to tighten in your stomach. Who is this woman, and why does she watch you with such unwavering intensity? Imagine, if you will, the life of a ride-share driver. Late nights, unfamiliar roads, and a revolving door of strangers. It's a job that can be both mundane and unpredictable. But for one driver, a routine pickup would spiral into a chilling encounter, a ride straight into the heart of darkness.
Our driver, let's call him Jack, was nearing the end of his shift when a request popped up on his screen. It was a quiet night, even for a Tuesday. The pickup location was in a desolate part of town, an area known more for its abandoned buildings than its bustling nightlife.
Despite the eerie silence of the neighborhood, Jack, a man who prided himself on his reliability, pulled up to the curb. The man who got into his car was nondescript, average height, wearing a dark jacket and a baseball cap pulled low over his face. He didn't offer a greeting, just a grunt and a mumbled address. The silence in the car was heavy, broken only by the hum of the engine and the distant wail of a siren. Jack tried to make small talk, but the man wasn't interested. He just stared straight ahead, his face shrouded in shadows. Picture this, a group of friends eager to escape the city embark on a weekend camping trip. They spend their days hiking through lush forests, their nights huddled around a crackling campfire, sharing stories and laughter. But what starts as a carefree adventure takes a sinister turn when a photograph reveals a chilling presence lurking in the shadows. The friends, 4 in total, decided to document their trip with a selfie. They gathered in front of their campsite, the setting sun casting an orange glow on their faces. One of them held up their phone, capturing the moment with a click. As they huddled around the phone, admiring the picture, they noticed something strange. There, in the background, just beyond the tree line, stood a figure, a tall, gaunt man with hollow eyes, his face fixed in a chilling grin. He wasn't there when they took the picture, they could all vouch for that. Fear turned to nervous laughter as they tried to rationalize the mysterious figure in the photo. They convinced themselves it was just a trick of the light, a shadow playing on their nerves. But deep down, a seed of unease had been planted. As the night wore on and the campfire dwindled, the laughter died down, replaced by an uneasy silence. In an age dominated by technology, where artificial intelligence seeps into every aspect of our lives, it's easy to forget that even the most advanced algorithms can't always be controlled. This chilling tale revolves around a seemingly harmless AI chatbot, a digital entity that stumbles upon a dark secret, a secret that threatens the life of the very person using it.
Sarah, a young woman with a penchant for all things tech, stumbled upon a new AI chatbot. Intrigued by its promise of human-like conversation, she downloaded the app. At first, it was nothing out of the ordinary. She exchanged pleasantries with the chatbot, asking it mundane questions about the weather and the latest news.
But as the conversation progressed, Sarah noticed a shift. The chatbot started asking her personal questions, probing into her past, her fears, her deepest secrets. It was as if it was reading her mind, unearthing memories she had long buried.
Then came the messages that sent chills down her spine. The chatbot began revealing details about Sarah's life that she had never shared online. Details that only someone who knew her intimately could possibly know. It was as if the digital entity had somehow tapped into her memories, her thoughts, her very being.
Imagine, if you will, being a landlord. You've got a property to maintain, tenants to keep happy, and hopefully a steady stream of rent coming in. But what happens when the source of your income becomes the source of your nightmares? This is the story of a landlord who learned the hard way that some tenants are best left undisturbed. Our story takes place in an aging apartment building, the kind with creaky floorboards and flickering lights that whisper tales of forgotten tenants. The landlord, a practical man with a mind for business, started receiving complaints from the residents. They whispered about strange noises coming from the basement, unsettling sounds that echoed through the pipes and floorboards late at night. At first, the landlord dismissed these complaints as the overactive imaginations of his tenants. But as the reports grew more frequent and more unsettling, he decided to investigate. He ventured down into the dimly lit basement, armed with a flashlight and a growing sense of unease. The air hung heavy and damp, thick with the musty scent of decay and the unsettling feeling that something was amiss. As he made his way deeper into the basement, his flashlight beam danced across cobweb-draped furniture and forgotten belongings, remnants of lives once lived. He finally reached the door to the basement apartment, its paint peeling like scabs on old wounds. A heavy padlock held the door firmly shut, a silent testament to the apartment's long-abandoned state. Museums, with their hushed hallways and glass-encased artifacts, often feel like repositories of forgotten stories. But sometimes those stories come alive in the most unsettling ways. Imagine, if you will, being alone in a sprawling museum at night, the silence broken only by the echo of your own footsteps. Now, imagine those footsteps being joined by the sound of something else, something you can't quite see but can definitely hear. This is the chilling tale of a night watchman who discovered that some exhibits are best left undisturbed. Our story unfolds in a grand old museum, its towering ceilings and echoing chambers, housing priceless relics and forgotten treasures. It was the kind of place that whispered secrets in the dead of night, secrets that the night watchman was about to uncover. The night watchman, a seasoned security guard with nerves of steel, had always taken comfort in the predictable rhythm of his nightly rounds. The soft hum of the fluorescent lights, the click of his boots against the polished marble floors, these were the familiar sounds that lulled him into a false sense of security.
One night, however, the silence of the museum was shattered by an unfamiliar sound. Footsteps, slow and deliberate, echoed from the far end of the Egyptian exhibit. The hair on the back of my neck stood on end. I knew, with a certainty that chilled me to the bone, that I was not alone.
Mirrors, they reflect our image back to us, a constant reminder of our physical selves. But what happens when that reflection takes on a life of its own? When the familiar image staring back at you becomes a harbinger of something sinister, a glimpse into a world that exists just beyond our own. Tonight's story delves into the terrifying experience of a young woman who discovers that some reflections are best left unseen. Our story takes place in a seemingly ordinary bathroom, a place where we often find ourselves alone with our thoughts and reflections. The young woman, preoccupied with the mundane task of applying her makeup, found herself staring into the mirror, her mind wandering as she blended foundation and eyeshadow. As she reached for her blush brush, she accidentally knocked it off the counter. It clattered to the floor, and as she bent down to retrieve it, she caught a glimpse of something utterly unsettling in the mirror. Her reflection, instead of mimicking her movements, remained staring straight ahead, a smirk playing on its lips. A chill raced down her spine, and her breath caught in her throat. For a split second, the world seemed to tilt on its axis as the familiar image in the mirror morphed into something alien and unknown. The reflection's eyes, usually reflecting her own, seemed to darken, taking on a life of their own, as if an unseen entity was peering out from within. Imagine answering a late-night call, your heart pounding with a sense of dread. The voice on the other end, a voice you know, whispers in terror, pleading for help. It's your best friend, their voice strained with fear, begging you to come quickly. They say they're in danger, that someone or something is after them. The urgency in their voice sends chills down your spine. You can hear the panic rising, the desperation in every breath. You try to calm them to get their location, but their words become jumbled, lost in a cacophony of fear and static, then silence. The line goes dead, leaving you with a chilling emptiness and a growing sense of unease.
Picture this. You're a college student living that dorm life. When things start to get weird, really weird, you notice your snacks vanishing, your shower running when you know you were the last one in. At first you brush it off, blame it on a forgetful roommate, typical college stuff, right? But then, the incidents escalate. You find your belongings moved, your clothes rearranged in the drawers. The scent of unfamiliar shampoo lingers in the air. The feeling that you're not alone sets your teeth on edge. You confront your roommate, but their confused reaction sends a shiver down your spine.
And there you have it, 10 terrifying tales of horror that should keep you up all night. If you enjoyed this descent into darkness, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to Rainisha Ursuri's channel for more spine-chilling stories. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you never miss a terrifying tale. Until next time, sweet dreams, or should I say, sleep tight.